You scold your cat. Maybe you caught them scratching the couch again, or they knocked your coffee off the table for the third time this week. They give you that look. Big eyes, frozen posture, and then they leave the room. And you feel bad. But then they come back. No meowing, no begging, just a look, a slow movement towards you. Something quiet and deliberate that you've probably seen 100 times, but never quite understood. Here's the thing. Your cat is apologizing. Not the way humans apologize. With words, with eye contact, with that awkward, "I'm sorry, are we okay?" conversation. Cats do it entirely through behavior, through body language so specific and so loaded with meaning that behaviorists have spent years studying it. And if you've been missing it, which most cat owners do, you've been missing some of the most emotionally significant moments your cat is actually offering you. We're going to break down 3 of them right now. And by the end, the last one is going to change the way you read your cat entirely. Way 1. The slow blink. They're lowering their guard. Have you ever been across the room from your cat and they suddenly just stare at you, then slowly close their eyes halfway? You probably thought they were sleepy or maybe just zoning out. Most people think nothing of it. A tired cat, a lazy moment, nothing to see here, but here's what's really happening. In 2020, a team of psychologists at the University of Sussex ran the first scientific study ever conducted on cat slow blinking. Dr. Tasman Humphrey and Professor Karen McComb published their findings in Scientific Reports, a journal from Nature, and what they found changed how we understand this behavior completely. They ran 2 experiments. In the first, cats were significantly more likely to slow blink back at their owners after the owner slow blinked at them, compared to when the owner just sat there without any interaction. That part wasn't surprising. But the second experiment, that was the one. A complete stranger. A researcher the cats had never met. Either slow blinked at the cats or held a neutral expression. Cats were measurably more likely to approach the stranger's outstretched hand after a slow blink than after a neutral face. A universal trust signal. It worked even without any relationship history. Here's why that matters. In the animal world, direct, unbroken eye contact is a threat. It's how predators track prey, how rivals size each other up. It means, I am watching you, and I am not relaxed. When a cat chooses to half close their eyes in your presence, to voluntarily reduce their field of vision, that's not a casual gesture. That's them saying, I am comfortable enough around you to let my guard down. I'm not on alert. You were safe. When they do it after a conflict, after you've scolded them, after tension in the room, that slow blink is the closest thing to, I'm not upset with you, that a cat can physically express. They are signaling the return of calm, the return of trust. And here's something you can actually do with this. The Sussex researchers confirmed it works both ways. Try slow blinking back at your cat. Narrow your eyes gently, hold it, then let them close for a moment. Your cat will almost certainly respond in kind, not because it's a trick, because you're speaking their language, because you're telling them the same thing they just told you. I see you. I'm calm. We're good. Think about what that means the next time you see it. They're not being aloof. They're reaching out. And now you know how to reach back. Way 2, the head bunt. They're putting you back in the group. You know that thing your cat does where they walk up and press their forehead right against your face, your hand, your leg, and just kind of lean into you? It feels sweet, affectionate. You've probably assumed they just want attention, or maybe they're telling you it's dinner time. That's the assumption most people make. Physical affection, maybe a little demanding. A cat asking for something. But the science tells a completely different story. Cats have clusters of specialized sebaceous glands located on their forehead, their cheeks, their chin, and the corners of their lips. These glands secrete what researchers call facial pheromones, chemical signals that carry specific social information. And here's what's key. Those pheromones are not all the same. Scientists have identified 5 distinct pheromone fractions, F1 through F5. Each one communicates something different. F3 is deposited when a cat rubs on furniture or walls. It's a way of marking familiar territory, essentially saying, "This space is mine and I know it." F4 is different. F4 is deposited specifically during social rubbing. When a cat rubs against another cat, a human or an animal they have an established bond with. Researchers believe F4 is the chemical signal that builds and reinforces what they call a colony scent, a shared group identity that communicates, "This individual is one of us." When a cat headbutts you after a conflict, they're not just asking for pets. They are chemically reintegrating you into their social group. They are quite literally saying, "You still belong here. You're still in my circle. We're still okay." Researchers studying feral cat colonies have found that headbutting occurs most often between closely bonded individuals, littermates, mothers, and offspring, cats that share long-term bonds. The vulnerability involved in bringing your face close to another animal's claws and teeth is enormous. Cats only do it when they feel genuinely safe with someone. So when your cat bunts you after you've been stern with them, that's not asking for forgiveness, that's offering it. And hey, if this is making you see your cat completely differently right now, hit like and subscribe. That's how these videos reach more cat owners who want to understand what's really going on. Way 3. The silent approach and sit. They're choosing you again. This one is the hardest to see because it looks like almost nothing. Your cat upset you. Or you upset them. Either way, there was tension. They left. You gave them space. And then, a little while later, they come back into the room. They walk toward you, not all the way, not close enough to jump in your lap. And they sit down, maybe a foot away, maybe 2. They don't meow. They don't push against your leg. They just sit, present, quiet. Most people read this as the cat wanting something, food probably. Or maybe they just happened to walk into the room and that's where they stopped. But here's what's actually going on. And this requires a little background on something researchers discovered in 2019. Dr. Kristen Vitale at Oregon State University's Human-Animal Interaction Lab ran the first study to empirically test whether cats form true attachment bonds with their owners. The study was published in the journal Current Biology. And what she found surprised even skeptics who had spent years assuming cats were essentially solitary and indifferent. Vitale's team ran what's called a secure base test, a procedure originally developed to measure attachment in human infants and later adapted for dogs. In the test, a cat was placed in an unfamiliar room with their owner for 2 minutes. The owner left for 2 minutes, then they returned. The results were striking. About 65% of cats showed secure attachment to their owners, the same percentage seen in human infants. Not dogs, not primates, human infants. Securely attached cats, when their owner came back, quickly settled and returned to calm, relaxed exploration. They checked in with their person, then went back to engaging with the world. Their owner was, in the language of attachment theory, a secure base. Now bring that back to the quiet sit. After a moment of conflict, your cat has a choice. They can go somewhere else entirely. Under the bed, into another room, anywhere that doesn't involve you. Cats are mobile. They are independent. They have options. When they choose to come back and sit near you instead, not demanding anything, not pushing, they are doing what a securely attached individual does. They are reestablishing proximity to their safe person. They are saying, in the only way they know how, I still want to be near you. You are still my secure base. Whatever just happened between us, I'm not choosing to leave. There's something almost unbearably honest about it. Because they can't soften it with words. They can't say, I know things got weird, but I'm over it. They can only show up or not. And when they show up, quietly, without drama, just present, that is the apology and the forgiveness at once. Your cat doesn't have the words. They never will. But they have the slow blink that says, I still trust you. They have the head bunt that says, you're still part of my world. And they have the quiet sit that says, I'm choosing to be here with you, even now. None of these gestures are dramatic. They're easy to miss, easy to dismiss, easy to chalk up to hunger or habit or coincidence. But that's exactly what makes them worth paying attention to. Your cat isn't performing. They don't know how. When they come back after a hard moment, when they press their forehead against yours, when they narrow their eyes from across the room, there's no ulterior motive. There's no manipulation. There's just an animal that has decided again and again that you are the place they want to be. That's not nothing. That's everything.